Hello again, everyone, and welcome to LanguageCaster.com, the football language podcast for learners and teachers of English. I'm Damien, and I'm currently in Ireland for the Christmas break, while the other member of the LanguageCaster team is Damon, and he's based in Japan. And indeed, Damon recently posted a podcast on the phrase clear cut, in which he also looked at the phrases fashion a chance and well organised. And of course, we both wish you all a wonderful holiday period wherever you are listening around the world. Have you seen any of the festive period football? I wonder if Damon has watched any football over the festive period. I'm sure he has. Now, the festive period refers to the Christmas and New Year holiday time, and in Britain, this festive period is a really busy one for football with games on nearly every day. Most teams will play 3 or 4 league matches in only a week or 10 days, so it is an important time or period for many clubs and, of course, their fans.
Bạn đang nghe LanguageCaster.com.
Right, on today's podcast, I will be focusing on the FIFA Club World Cup, which this year celebrates the 20th anniversary of the current format of the tournament. The format means the way that something happens or is arranged, so how the tournament is organised. And I remember going along with Damon in Tokyo way back in 2007 to watch Boca Juniors take on Toile du Sahel from Tunisia in the semi-final that year. Well, I have also been to a final in 1996 when Juventus beat River Plate 1-0. And this was the last time that I've been to a game in this end-of-year tournament. But we have always followed this tournament here at LanguageCaster, and if you come along to our site, you can listen to some of our previous podcasts on the Club World Cup. Check the related links at the end of this post too. And so, on today's show, I will be looking at some of the language that has emerged from the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup tournament that took place in Saudi Arabia over the past week or so.
Hi, my name is Ahmed Adam. I support Al Hilal Sports Club. That's a site from the Sudanese Premier League. And you're listening to LanguageCaster.com.
Now, before we listen to this report on the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup, let's see how well you know the tournament. Here are a couple of quizzes to help you prepare for the listening. The first is about the nationalities involved in the tournament, while the final one explains some of the words and phrases that you will hear in the report. You can download a worksheet that we have along with the answers for this report by coming along to our site here at LanguageCaster.com.
G'day, my name is Erin. I'm from Brisbane and I'm a West Ham supporter and you're listening to LanguageCaster.com.
So the first one is about nationalities. What are the nationalities of the following countries? And these are the 7 countries that are taking part in the Club World Cup. So number 1, England, the nationality is English. Well, how about number 2, Saudi Arabia? Number 3, New Zealand. Number 4, Brazil. Number 5, Mexico. Number 6, Egypt. And number 7, Japan. Now, number 2, how much do you know about the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup? Try and answer these questions. Number 1, how many teams have taken part in this year's competition? Number 2, which team won the tournament last year? Number 3, this year the competition takes place in Saudi Arabia, but where did it take place or where was it held last year? And number 4, there will be a new format in 2025. How many teams will participate in this new format? And finally, some words and phrases that you will hear in this report. Number 1, format. So as we mentioned, this is the version or a way of doing something. Number 2, confederation. These are the organisers of football in different regions around the world, and there are 6 different ones. Number 3, host. This can be a verb, to host a competition, for example, or a noun. The hosts Al Ittihad played Auckland FC from New Zealand in the opening match. Number 4, represent or representative. This is to participate in a competition on behalf of someone or something else. So, for example, a football confederation. So, Manchester City are representing the European region, UEFA. They are the European representatives at the tournament. Number 5, to be outplayed. To be completely dominated by the opposition. And finally, number 6, to set up a final. And this means to produce the 2 teams for the final. So, for example, the 2 teams won their semi-finals to set up a final, which means that these 2 sides will meet in the final. Now listen to this short report to check your answers, and we'll check them again later on in the show.
Tá tú ag éisteacht le languagecaster.com.
Yes, that message was from an Irish fan. Drop us a line if you want to add a stinger in any language that says you are listening to LanguageCaster at admin@languagecaster.com. The 20th FIFA Club World Cup kicked off in Saudi Arabia last week with games involving 7 teams from 7 different countries, but from 6 different confederations. And these games took place in 2 stadiums, or stadia, in Jeddah, which is the second city in Saudi Arabia. This will be the final time that the tournament will take place in this format, as there will be a new version from 2025, in which 32 sides will take part in a summer tournament every 4 years. And the first of this new kind of tournament will be held in the USA. The current holders of the trophy are Real Madrid, who won in Morocco last year against Al Hilal. But of course, they cannot defend their trophy as they did not win the Champions League this season. Manchester City defeated Inter 1-0 and so are representing Europe. The other 5 confederation winners are the AFC champions are Urawa Reds from Japan, the CAF winners from Africa are Egyptian side Al Ahly, Club Leon from Mexico represented the CONCACAF region, Brazilian side Fluminense represented CONMEBOL, the OFC representative was Auckland City FC from New Zealand, while Al Ittihad FC from Saudi Arabia qualified as champions of the host nation. Matches. The first round playoff game saw the hosts Al Ittihad easily defeat the Oceania representatives from New Zealand, Auckland FC, by 3-0 to set up a second round match against Al Ahly from Egypt, who of course were representing the African Federation CAF. The Egyptian side won easily 3-1. In the other second round match, the Asian champions Urawa Red Diamonds beat Mexican side Leon 1-0 to qualify for the semi-final against Manchester City. There, the Japanese side were easily outplayed by the European champions and ended up losing 3-0. In the other semi-final, Brazilian side Fluminense, who recently won their first ever Libertadores Cup, beat Al Ahly 2-0 to set up a European South American final. The final. Now, since both sides won their first ever continental title last season, whoever wins would collect their inaugural world title. City scored in the first minute through Argentinian striker Alvarez. He chested the ball into the net, before an own goal from Motafillo made it 2-0 to the European side. City's dominance continued in the second half, with Phil Foden scoring the third and Alvarez scored his second in the 88th minute. This was a comprehensive victory for City, who became the 4th English club side to win this trophy, while they also become the first English side to win 5 trophies in the same season, A remarkable feat indeed.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Now, if you have any questions or comments, then drop us an email at admin@languagecaster.com. And you can also look out for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a football language forum where you can ask and answer any questions you have on the language of football. Don't forget to subscribe to our Football Language podcast, and a quick reminder that you can also access all of our other Football Language podcasts, we have hundreds of them, by coming along to our site here at languagecaster.com.
Čau, já jsem Zdeněk, fanoušek Arsenálu z České republiky a vy posloucháte languagecaster.com.
Okay, thanks for listening to the short report on this season's FIFA Club World Cup. Can you remember the questions before the report? Let's go through some of the answers. First of all, let's look at the list of nationalities that took part in the tournament and then look at the answers to the questions we asked beforehand. Nationalities: England, English; Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabian, or sometimes Saudi; New Zealand, New Zealander, or New Zealand; Brazil, Brazilian; Mexico, Mexican; Egypt, Egyptian; Japan, Japanese. And here are the answers to the questions we asked earlier on. How many teams take part in the annual competition? Well, the answer, 7 teams have taken part in this year's competition. Number 2, which team won the tournament last year? That's in 2022. And the answer, that was Real Madrid. Number 3, this year the competition takes place in Saudi Arabia. Where did it take place last year? Well, it took place in Morocco last year. And number 4, there will be a new format in 2025. How many teams will participate in this new format? Well, the answer, the new FIFA-run tournament will have 32 teams participating from 2025.
Você está escutando languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to Languagecaster, and that message was from a Brazilian fan. Don't forget there's a transcript for this short podcast, and there's lots of vocabulary support too. We explain lots of the meanings of these words in the transcript, which you can access by coming along to our site. And don't forget, of course, we also have a worksheet with answers with this listening report. Okay, that's it for this short podcast about the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup tournament that took place in Saudi Arabia, in which we looked at lots of language, including the phrases represent, to host, and confederation. Let us know if you hear any of these words in any language while watching football over the next week or two. And of course, drop us a line if you come across any interesting football language over the festive period, or if you have any football language questions. Congratulations again to Manchester City on winning the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup. Enjoy all the football over the festive period. Have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.